Salutations gamers, I'm the OgichiGame and welcome back to Minecraft, Volcano Island. We're gonna pick up where we left off in here, which is the base. Now, the next thing that we need to do in the base is start construction on the rail system. The rail system is probably going to be the most complicated piece of technology in the entire base. So, yeah, not going to be fun. But here's how it's going to have to work. The rail system is going to be placed up against the walls in a strange pattern. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to work just yet, but basically the rails will go down a level, and another level, and another level, all the way down to the bottom, but it's going to have this weird button system on each level, which allows me to simply push a button, and that will help me to, and that will decide which level I stop on. And I believe I'm going to make it on this far wall here. Let's just destroy some of this. Or rather, I suppose I could put it on this wall here, but should I? Well, the stairs are already in the way, so it's probably best to start the system here. Yes, I believe we'll start it here. So, first of all, we're going to need two powered rails, like so, and then it will simply travel downwards into the base further. Let's just put a few of these rails back and get the quartz out. So, these rails will simply go down and then turn around in this zigzag pattern. Like so. We're going to alternate every other one, as we would typically do. Now, the problem comes into play when we need to actually turn these things around. Right. So, we're going to put a double-powered rail here, and then have it turn like so. Boop. And then it begins to go back down. And there we go. Wonderful. And actually powering all this is going to be a little complicated, but it shouldn't be the worst. I've dealt with some seriously bad stuff before. This shouldn't be the worst thing, but it's going to be extremely complicated. So let's see if we can't figure out. At the very least, let's just get to the bottom. There we go. And now this is one of those places where we're going to need a double. Okie dokie. Then we just turn this around this direction. Only that needs to be down a level. Right there. Perfect. Destroy that. Also destroy that. We don't need any of these blocks here. Wonderful. Okay, we're just about there. Bop, bop, there. Done. Okay, so now we just put our rails down where they need to be. Bop, bop. Unfortunately, this will not turn. That's fine. Well, actually, we have to put one of these down anyway. There, and then we'll just make this one a double. And that should work just fine. Right, and this is going to go all the way down. Oh, thank goodness I didn't fall all the way down. That would have killed me for sure. Jeez, that's scary. Okay, so let's head back up a little ways. But, gee, oh my goodness. Life flashed before my eyes. So much bread eaten. So much bread. Anyway, though, so now the rails just come over here, and they'll have a stop right along this wall. So we'll put two rails here. Actually, do we want them there? I don't know that we want them there. We probably don't. Probably don't. Hold on. Okay, so for this to work, there needs to be a system which actually stops the rails entirely. So that would mean that bop, bop, and then the rails would continue downwards. Like so. No, they can't be there. No, they couldn't be there. Okay. So let's see how we could better make this work. Okay, so the rails would have to come around. Actually, let's keep that there, and then... No, that's not going to work. We'll make this one a double, so this works. Oh, sorry, dagnabbit, I keep messing up. Okay, so that has to go there, bop bop. And then we can have this come around here. Something along these lines. The problem comes into play is that this needs to then go back around. Somehow. Okay, so actually getting the system put into place. This is why we work. This is why we test things before we ever just start building things randomly. Anyway, though, so we need to get this to turn around. We could extend it out by a block, I suppose, and then turn it back into a zigzag pattern all the way down, which would be effective, I suppose. I'm afraid that's probably what we're going to have to do. That's fine. So we just put one of those down and then bam, bam. Like so. Now, unfortunately, I do not believe that with pistons I will be able to push around track. If I just put a torch down, or do I have any... I have buttons. I could just use a button. Let me just use a button real quick. So if I show that real fast, it just destroys the track, which is going to be a real nuisance. Because something we need to do is we need to find a way to... Oh, I have an idea. Oh, wait, that might not work at all. Okay, so what we could try to do is we could try to put a block above, like so that the cart stops. And then, like, a piston will push out a block from in there, push it out, and then the cart will stop. Unfortunately, I don't believe that system would work. Plus, when the block comes back, we have to bring this around and everything. Oh, jeez. This is going to be complicated. Okay, so let's see. Well, since we already have to bring it back around, we might as well make this 3, like so, to really make sure that the stopping power hits. I'm not sure how that will work, though. Let's test it out. So, let's just test this out first by placing down the torches where we need them to be. And then, once the torches are all in place, we'll bring a cart down the track and actually see if the 3 hole unpowered powered rails will actually stop a cart. If it does, then we don't have to worry about the rest of it. Because once we have the 3 powered rails... If the 3 powered rails can simply just stop the cart in its tracks, then we don't have to worry. We can just simply have that powered and unpowered and all that business. So, let's just start off with a simple button, as per usual. I do believe I have a cart on me we can use. So let's get into cart and see if 3 power... Oh my goodness, I can't believe that! A single solitary one of these will completely stop it dead in its tracks. That's amazing. Okay, so let's power these on. There we go. Now they're powered. So that'll actually work really well. Oh, geez. Let's bring this back up a little bit. Seems we have some problems with powering the rails. Okay, where are they not powered? Right here. Okay, so it's kind of hard to tell where things are powered and where they're not powered, so let's just put down a block here. Bam. Are these powered? I bet they're not. Nope, they are definitely not. Okay, so take out that, and that's not what I wanted at all, but hey, that actually makes things easier in the long run. Because now all I have to do is just put a block in there and put these on the outside. Like that. Right. We're going to have to clean this mess up a little bit once we actually get working on this a little more. But let's just put this here. Get in the cart, push the button, let's see how well it works. Wow, that works really well, actually. Wow, it's really effective. Okay. So that works fine. In fact, the 2 is plenty of enough to stop the cart dead in its tracks, which means I think we might be able to wrap this around. The problem comes into play with powering, but I suppose that we could go under the rails to power them. Let's test that theory out. So, let's make a platform for me to stand on to see if I can do this the way that I'm thinking. So, if we take a little bit of redstone, bop bop, let's put, well, we have torches, so we can use those. So, all we gotta do is put a torch down. Is that powered? I do not believe that it is. Okay. But that's fine. We have other methods. Let's see. So if we do this, is it powered now? Ah, it is powered. Okay, so that'll work. So we'll just have to create an inverter system, which will be a little bit of a nuisance, but hey, you know what? It'll work. And that'll actually work pretty well, because what we can do is we can actually place the block that is going to be used below here. Oh dear. We're going to have to get up. But the block that's placed below there can actually have the torch for the inverter system placed on it. That'll work very well indeed. Unfortunately, this is going to take a ridiculous amount of time to actually put together. Now, how exactly is this system going to work? We're going to need multiple buttons. Now, how many floors do we have? We have... Let's see. Let's just check it out real fast. So we have the first floor, the second floor, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, the eighth, the ninth, the 10th. There's 11 floors in total. Okay, so that means we're going to need 11 buttons. Or at the very least... Well, yeah, we're going to need 11 buttons. Right. So we're going to need something, probably along the walls, that will act, or maybe something along here. Some kind of panel that we could use to plug in the numbers that we want. We might actually have to do some kind of double system. Double it over. It's going to take a long time to do that kind of work. Well, though, okay, so, at the very least, today we have our system put in place for getting the cart down a floor. Unfortunately, the actual system, I'm going to have to put in some more thought into the mechanics of it, because it's going to be a doozy, to say the least. Actually, we need to dig that up, put that there, and then that goes there, and then it can actually go down again. Ah, okay. I'm just gonna build this down a ways while I'm thinking about it. Take out that torch, pop there, bam, bam, like so. Okay, wonderful. This is going to be a lot of work. Like many other projects that I have worked on, this is going to be a lot of work. I can already tell. Ridiculous amount of work, actually. But that's perfectly fine. Because I'm willing to put it in. I'm willing to put in that kind of work to do this stuff, because it's fun. I don't know if you guys enjoy this as much as I do, but I certainly enjoy it a lot. Alright, that works. Good. Okay, so that'll probably not need to be there, but we'll have to test it out. Let's see if this goes off the rails. Pop. Let's put a rail there just in case, but let's go back upstairs. So, let's test this out to make sure that it functions okay. So, if we go back all the way up here, we have our cart, right? We do have our cart. So let's say we've made the system, we put it in place. Let's put the torch there, because that actually is going to be an inverter later on. So it powers that, but also powers these rails. And actually, it'll be really effective, because even if it did pass by this, it would also stop on there once the inverter goes out. Anyway, though, so let's just power on these rails. Okay, let's see. That'll work. That'll be effective enough. So, put it there, put it there. Just about done. Okay, so now we're just going to see if those two little things at the bottom are going to be enough. Because this time one of them is at a slant, which is going to make it difficult. So let's just test that out to make sure it works, because we want to test every possible outcome. Okay, so get on here, pop it open. Okay, so let's just say, bam. Okay, so we're going all the way down, all the way, and we stopped. And we stopped before we hit the next rail, which is what we want. That's great, that's amazing. Okay, so that's great, wonderful. Now, what we could do is we could just make this a manual thing, where, because with track, okay, so if I just put down some track so you can see as an example, just plain track, there's nothing on this track. I can put down a cart, and I can just roll myself. I don't actually need the powered rail to get me anywhere. But powered rail works faster. Plus, I don't have to push any buttons, and it's really cool to have automated systems, because this would also mean that I could I could bring materials back and forth along this track. I could put carts, special carts that have the chest in them that bring materials up and down all around the place. This will basically be the blood of this facility, getting up, down, and all around. This whole place is going to be almost wholly dependent upon this track system. It's going to be very complicated, I can tell you that much anyway. Anyway, though, guys, I'm out of time for this episode, though. So, if you like this episode, make sure to hit like on it. Otherwise, I'll see all of you in the next one. Bye-bye!